Best Irish music on irishradio.org with Jerry Byrne.
My next guest is a gentleman who has been involved in music for quite a while, but he is a newcomer when it comes to recording. Now, he's released a brand new self-penned single called My Fermanagh Colleen. Now, he comes from that fair county of Fermanagh, and to be precise, Belleek in County Fermanagh. I'm delighted to say hello to Kieran McMahon. Kieran, how are you?
Oh, I'm good, Jerry. Thank you very much for having me on.
A real pleasure. Listen, you've been involved in music for a while at this stage, Kieran.
Yeah, I suppose I'm playing a few years now. I was a bit of a late starter to music. I didn't lift an instrument until I was about 27 or so. I spent most of my early life playing football, and I started playing guitar, I suppose, when I was about 27. And I hit the pub scene then, a few years after that, and I suppose it just went from there, you know.
Right. Now, you've also played with Sean Lockery as well.
Yeah, I took up playing keyboards, and Sean needed a keyboard player, and he gave me a ring one night, and I ended up playing with Sean for a few years. So thoroughly enjoyed it. He was an absolute gentleman to play with, and I really enjoyed it. And I learned a lot from playing with Sean and the venues and stuff we played in, you know. So it was a very enjoyable few years that I spent with Sean, you know.
Indeed, I bet. And it's also it's a great learning curve, possibly as well, going out, as part of a band with the likes of Sean.
Oh, it is. You know, it's a whole different scene than doing your one man show. You know, because you're obviously working with others, and you're playing within a band as opposed to playing yourself. You know, and big learning curve. And there was a guy with us, Jerry Rainey, who was a guitar player, and he was a great help to me now. You know, he was quite experienced on the band scene, and he was a great help to me. So he pointed me in the right direction, and I was probably a wee bit out of my depth because I didn't realise how it all worked. You know, I was only playing about keyboards about 6 months when Sean contacted me, and but it went from there, and I loved it, loved every minute of it. And due to health, I had to leave Sean. I just wee bit of bad health, and I had to leave him at that time, you know, which was unfortunate, but that's the way it went, you know. But I look back on it very fondly.
I bet. Now, since you were out on doing work of your own, but unfortunately, as everyone in music knows, COVID hit, and it hit music very, very tough.
Oh, it did, yeah, it did. And I was, after I left Sean, I was out for a year or two and I was just coming back pre-COVID, and COVID hit again. So it just carried on what was a long year and a half prior to that. It just carried it on for another year and a half, for the best part of 2 years there nearly. So yeah, it's been a long time and a very hard time on all musicians and all people, not just musicians. You know, it's been a very tough time on everybody.
Indeed, it has. It certainly has. But you were fortunate in that you still had the day job, so that was a.
Oh, I did. I was lucky enough. I still had the day job, so yeah, I was happy out, you know. And well, I suppose it's only for it you'd have been in trouble, you know.
Indeed so. But it was particularly tough on the professional musicians, those who relied on the musical career to make a living. That was pretty tough stuff for them.
It's been a horrendous time for them, you know, and it's still is slow, like, and you feel sorry for the professional musician, you know, because a lot of them have had to get work elsewhere, and you know, when you're used to playing music, it's your life, and that's what you want to do. So yeah, they've been hit very hard, very, very hard.
Indeed so, and I say it's a slow return at the moment. Indeed.
Oh, it's slow. It's very slow, Jerry. You know, people are still very nervous about going out. You know, and rightly so. You know, you have to respect people's take on it. You know, and it could take a while, I think, before music will be back to what it was.
Indeed so. But you went into Brian Corrigan, and you with your song that you'd written, you recorded it. It's a very professional recording, and it's going very well for you at the moment.
It is, yeah. Brian done a brilliant job on it. He just puts out some great stuff, and I went down to him with the basic model, and as the man would say, he put the spec on it, and he has done a fantastic job, and I couldn't recommend Brian enough. And it's just he offers so much to you, in the sense where he just points you in the right direction and gives great advice, and he's a fantastic musician himself, and I'm delighted with what he has produced for me.
Indeed, it's absolutely superb. Tell me, have you many other songs written?
I have. I started writing, I suppose, about 10 years ago, and I'm only getting around to putting one out now. And I have. I don't know offhand exactly how many I have, but I've quite a few done. And I suppose if I do an album, I'll put more of them out there. So just it's something I started doing on a dark evening one night about 10 years ago, and I'm still at it.
That's superb, absolutely superb. Well done on on doing it. And you may say you were a late startup. You're certainly making up for it now, coming in leaps and bounds at this stage.
Oh, thank you very much, Chair.
That's absolutely superb that you do. Now you also do a radio program on local radio.
Yeah, we there was a radio station formed here during the COVID. Really, it was started up by some of the guys in Men's Shed, and a guy called Andy Murray. He's really the backbone of the station. He started it up, and they were up and running a wee while, and they gave me a ring one evening to see would I do something for them. So we decided to do a country show, and it goes out on a Sunday evening on Bleak Radio, and it's called the Big Country Music Show, and something I never ever thought I'd be doing, but I must say it's a great benefit. The local people love it here. And that's what it was all about. It was a community-based radio for the local community, and it's going from strength to strength. So, it's very enjoyable, very, very enjoyable to do it.
That's absolutely excellent. Kieran, listen, well, so lovely to chat to you. I wish you all the success in the world, and all the success in the world with the new song, which I must say sounds great. And listen, fingers crossed, I'll catch up with you on stage somewhere soon along the winding path.
Oh, well, thank you very much, Jerry, for having me on. It's much appreciated, and all the success to yourself on your own show there as well. And I hope we do meet somewhere along the line when things open up, and we'll have a tune somewhere maybe.